What's up, everybody? P. Pardo here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another episode of, I guess, Inside the Cover, right? This is a look at a facsimile. This is, we're going to do these from time to time because there are certain comics, those Holy Grail comics, that we all want in our collection. But man, they're just too damn expensive, right? We know which ones they are. You either had them back in the day and you sold them, and now all these years later they're worth thousands and thousands of dollars or much more than that, or they're just quite out of reach that you're like, I really can't fathom and rationalize spending that kind of money on a comic book, right? No matter how worthwhile it might be, no matter how valuable it might be, it's just out of my reach. Well, today is a perfect example of one of those. We're going to take a look at Avengers #1. The only way I'm ever going to own this is to buy the facsimile copy for $10 or less, right? And we have there's a handful, probably a little more than a handful, of these type of comics now. Those Holy Grail comics that are so up in price that really the only way you can afford to get them nowadays without spending thousands of dollars on a used and maybe very used copy from 50, 60 years ago is to go get one of these very well done facsimile editions, which recreate all the original ads and artwork, everything. The issue is exactly the same. It's not printed in 1963, September 1963, as a matter of fact. So, you got Spider-Man 129, right, with the Punisher. You got Hulk 181 and Fantastic Four #1. All these, Spider-Man #1, Amazing Fantasy, right? All these, like, really expensive comics that, thankfully, Marvel has, in recent years, decided to let's do some facsimile editions for those who maybe just are never going to have a copy of the originals. Now you can have them. So here we have Jack Kirby art, of course, right? So this is Jack Kirby did the arts, inks by Dick Ayers, right? So this is the brand new first issue. So you'll see really the only difference here is you've got the $3.99 price here, obviously, and you've got the UPC barcode there. Otherwise, everything is basically the same. You got the same ad on the back, same ad on the inside. Okay, so of course here we've got Loki. So lettering, Mr. Rosen, Stan Lee wrote the book. Loki with that profile shot, the big chin, the big nose, right? And this is the first ever appearance of the Avengers, right? So of course what he's plotting to do, he's always plotting against his half-brother Thor. So he stumbles upon the Hulk. Look at Hulk. Look at Kirby's Hulk. This is very early on. Looks like just like a green strongman from the circus, right? He almost looks like the Blob from the Evil Mutants, the Evil X-Men, right? More Evil Mutants, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, just green. So here, what Loki does is he stumbles upon the Hulk and he figures that's my way to get back at my brother. I'm going to see if I can cast him under a spell, right? So now you've got all these other characters coming together, right? So there you got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Here's a cool ad for Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. Issue #1. Now this is a great time for comics. And here you got Tony Stark in his early Iron Man costume. You got the Fantastic Four showing up. So really, at this point in time, you only had the Fantastic Four as a super team. So the Avengers basically is your second team. So here we got Thor and Iron Man congregating. Ant-Man and the Wasp show up. Thor sees Hulk, tries to go put a stop to what's going on, but then Hulk disappears. There's Hulk. There's Hulk in the circus, right? And, this is really early Kirby art, so it's kind of charming for what it is. Kirby's art would really improve leaps and bounds over the next 2 to 3 years. But the colors are nice and crisp. I never was a huge fan of Kirby doing the Hulk. As you can see by the shape of the head, you know, they really based the Hulk character on a combination of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and the Frankenstein monster. And you can totally see the Frankenstein characteristics in Kirby's rendition. There you got the early Iron Man suit, which again is just crazy. This is so long ago. Now, of course, you know, got to contain the Hulk here. There's an ad for Strange Tales Annual. So there Iron Man and Hulk start to go at it. There's Thor talking to Odin. You know, he knows that something's going on here. He goes, "Noble Odin, Lord of Gods, grant thy son permission to visit Loki on the Isle of Silence, that I may learn if he is responsible for some deviltry on Earth." Right? So he knows that Loki's behind the Hulk in his rampage, right? So, of course, he goes to find Loki. And here we have the confrontation between the two of them. Loki gets one of his minion creatures to attack Thor. That doesn't work out so well, as we very well know. Here we got an ad for Fantastic Four Annual #1, right? Submariner, very cool. These are all such classic issues. Alright, so here we have continuing the combat between Thor and his brother. Meanwhile, back on Earth, back on Midgard, right? They're trying to contain the Hulk. I just love these panels right here. So then Thor shows up with Loki. So what does Loki say here? He goes, "It would seem that he trapped himself." Loki, huh? You got me into this jam. Let me have him, Thor. So that's the Hulk. So now the Hulk is realizing that Thor has been Loki has been behind him doing stuff that he normally wouldn't do. Back, you human dolt! No mortal may lay a hand on Loki. I have powers you never dreamed of. Hey, that glow, what's happening to him? He's made himself radioactive. I'll give you 10 seconds to leave, taking Iron Man with you. Then Thor and I will resume our battle. If you remain, you are doomed. So, of course, the Ant-Man figures out a way to contain Loki so they can send him back to Asgard, lock his ass up, and then, so I'll read you some of this stuff here before. So after they get Loki under control, Ant-Man says, "Wait, before we separate, the Wasp and I have something to say. Each of us has a different power. If we combine forces, we would be almost unbeatable." Iron Man says, "Work as a team? Why not? I'm up for it." Thor says, "There is so much good we might do." Then Hulk says, "I'm sick of being hunted and hounded. I'd rather be with you than against you. So whether you like it or not, I'm joining the, hey, what are we calling ourselves?" Did Hulk ever really talk like that? I guess back early on. "That's right, we need a name. It should be something colorful and dramatic, like the Avengers, or it's nothing. Or nothing, that's it, the Avengers. We'll fight together or separately if need be." Hulk says, I pity the guy who tries to beat us. We'll never be beaten. We are the Avengers." And thus starts the debut of the Avengers. Of course, we would know Hulk does not stick around for too long at all, right? Because that's just not his thing. But otherwise, you know, fun first issue. Obviously, things would get kind of much better from there. But this is the debut of the Avengers, and yeah, Facsimile is okay. It's an okay way to go. So this is easy to get out there for those of you who are not aware. You can get, like I said, you can get this very easily for under $10. And I think this was printed in 2023. So yeah, much cheaper than spending 10 grand on a Avengers #1 from 1963, right? So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we get the link to our Sea of Tranquility merch page, where you can get yourself a comic book shirt or coffee mug. Thanks in advance for all your support there. It really helps the channel, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Barlow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.